Many thanks there to Bukayo Saka. Spoken like a true gunner, Tony. Is he perhaps Arsenal's most important player right now?
Absolutely. Love him to death, huh? What Arsenal fan or Arsenal manager and coach wouldn't love a player like that? All the kind of young, kind of fresh, kind of just going and enjoying his football, loving his football. He's got pace, he's got skill. You know, he puts the shift in. I always worried whether he'd get the right position because he has been he played sometimes left wing back, left back, and I thought I didn't want to go through his career now. I know it's very early days, but being a kind of, is he a right winger, is he a left winger, is he a left midfield? I do think eventually he's going to have to find his best position and make a stand and grow into that position going forward. Yeah, but he's a super player. And Emil Rowe as well, you know, and it comes to think, why didn't he play Emil at the weekend? So, you know, it's kind of, yeah, okay, managers always, you know, come into criticism when you lose football games, but, you know, you've got to play like Emil and the kids are on fire at the moment. Just let them run. Just put them on the pitch every time.
No, you're absolutely right there, Tony. He's played on both sides and sometimes as a left back as well. But recently, of late, he started on the right wing. In your eyes, though, Tony, what's his best position?
Oh, it's great having that, isn't it? That issue, you know. I think I would play him in a 4-3-3. And I would have him off the left of the other two. I'll put Partey and Saka in and use a little bit like Liverpool do in that system of play. I think might get the best out of him. He can get up and down, and ever. But, you know, like I say, it's just great luxury because you can put him on the right wing, the left wing, and you know he's gonna do a job for you, you know. But I think just the balance of the team. We had a player when I was at Portsmouth, Sully Montari. He has a left side. He's a natural left side, and I think we played him off of a 3. And now we've got Partey when we've not even mentioned the guy tonight. You know what a difference he's made to the team. You know, I was raving away at Old Trafford early on in the season where I thought, hallelujah, we've been crying out for a holding midfield player for so many years since Gilberto and stuff, and we finally got one. That gives you the protection now for Emil and for Saka to go and do their stuff. You know, that's why they're expressing themselves so well now, because they've got the protection of Saka and Partey. You know, the system, the 4 and the 2, finally, after all the season, Arteta's listened to me and he's put a back 4 in place, 2 screening holding midfield players, and let the kids go and play. You know, we're screaming out for it and we're climbing the league. So everything's good in the Arsenal world.
I'm guessing Mikel Arteta has you on speed dial then, Tony. But Matt, just back on the conversation about Bukayo Saka, there is advantages of being that sort of a versatile of a player, but like Tony said, he is coming to an age where perhaps within the near future he's got to decide which position he should nail down. What position would you give him?
I mean, the position that he played in tonight was one that he was very dangerous from. I think perhaps, you know, with a more experienced left back, it might have been a bit tougher for him. But I certainly think that you need to get him in the areas of the pitch where he can hurt the opposition. And I think left back is, for me, that's a position that's just a little bit too defensive for him. I think he needs to be in the forward areas. So as Tony said, I think he can play in a 4-3-3, but I think he can play either side of that 4-3-3. And for a manager to have a player with that much ability who can play in that many different positions is an absolute dream. So I think he's still quite early on in his career, and I don't think he has to, right at this minute, nail down one position. I think he's a very useful asset in a few positions, and he should just continue to grow in each of those positions. And it's wonderful for him in his career, because if he can play 2 or 3 positions really, really well, the chances of him being dropped from the team, you know, decrease enormously. So for me, I think he just keeps growing in those positions that he can play in, and he's an absolute dream for the manager.
But just to play a bit of a devil's advocate here, Tony, I mean, there's a lot of pressure to put on quite a young boy, you know. It's quite a risky thing to do for Arsenal as well.
Just about to make that point. I don't know when you were coming through, Matt, as well. You know, when I had a very good coach, Don Howe, one of the greatest English coaches of all time for me, and he knew when to take me out of the team and when to put me in. And that's very Arsenal can't afford that because these kids are our best players. You know, it's just the Arteta's going, oh, just play, just go and play, and that can be. You have to watch that. You really do. You'll get burnt out. Your form will drop. You'll lack the confidence could go because these guys at the moment, Saka's just going onto the football pitch and just playing. And if you haven't got the experienced players around these kids, they can get lost. They really can. You know, we've seen Willock in recent years, players that have come in and initially they've come to life and they're doing their stuff, and then all of a sudden they kind of lose their way and they lose their confidence. So it's very important for the coach to actually know when. All right, son, have a rest today. Have a rest.
I think it was, with me, Tone, I was 17 when I made my debut, and I scored 10 goals in that first season. But it was only until I was nearly 21 before I became a proper first team regular, without just kind of getting dipped in and out. I was 21 when I had my first kind of almost a full season in the first team. So there is that option for the manager, and they do that with the youngsters to drop them in and out, as you say, because there will be fluctuations. But certainly this boy is showing so much potential, and it is difficult because, as you say, at the moment, he is one of their best players. So it's a difficult juggling act for Arteta to actually keep looking at him, keep him playing, and thinking, when can I give this boy a little bit of a rest? You know, when am I able to do that? And at the moment, the position that they're in, he can't.
Matt, you were probably that player like Bukayo Saka to make an immediate impact when you were a youngster. I don't, Tony. Does he remind you of anyone in the sense of making that instant impact at such a young age?
I think Matt and I was very similar to Matt. You know, I played about 3 or 4 games when I was 17 and then 25 odd, but it wasn't until I was in my 20s and stuff that I actually nailed down the position. And these lads, you know, I kind of go over the same point, but you need to. What Arteta's gone, and he did the same last year. He falls on a system, it works for him, and he kind of runs with it. You know, and I think that's kind of dangerous. He's got no experience, the coach, and he's got no experience of working with these kind of young players. And I just think that's kind of worrying. That I'd love it. You know, I think don't get me wrong, I think Arteta's a wonderful, and he's going to be a top coach. I just don't. I'd prefer someone experienced in the camp, whether it's a sports director or someone around him, assistant, that just could say, look, you know, let's do this, you know, because after playing the system we did last year with the 3 at the back and winning the FA Cup, we kind of went, oh yeah, we put a lot of plasters on the system of play. And it took like 10 games, 15 games this season before he's gone into a back 4, you know, and got, you know, we were like round pegs in it and in square holes, as they say. You know, Tini was playing in here and his position is going down there. So, yeah, I don't know if I answered your question. I think you just got to be, I love it. I think the kid's a wonderful player. I just hope that he's developed properly through the, you know, because at the end of the day, Arsenal, you know, we are up to 8th. We are up to 8th, you know, we're climbing the league, you know, and your kind of tendency is to keep playing these kids and keep playing them and climbing the table. And I think they're come up because all the good players that are not playing now, they've just kind of like the Willan and all these kind of players have gone, well, they've got in front of us, you know, so when they come in, am I going to be an understudy to this kid? You know, what's all that about? You know, I'm an experienced professional, and this kid's got in front of me. You know, I'd be knocking down. I don't think players are like us, Matt. To be honest with you, I'll be knocking down the door saying, "What are you playing the kid for?" You know, I'd play me.